Thank you everyone for coming. And without further ado, I'm going to ask Ephraim to get up the timer. And then whenever you want to start, Noam, after Ephraim gets the timer up, then Ephraim will start the timer and we will get going. Okay. Okay, yeah, whenever you want to begin, Noam.
Oh, okay, I started, then he does the timer. Okay, great. Hi guys, 301. So I just wanted to say first that a lot of these ideas are from a shiur I heard from Dr. Tam Jacobowitz, so she's great. So anyway, I wanted to look at some psukim from last week's parsha, from Chukat, about when Moshe hit the rock and about his punishment and about why he was punished, right? That's a big question that the rabbis always try to talk about, is what did Moshe do so wrong that he wasn't allowed into the land of Israel? That feels like a really, really big punishment for hitting the rock when Hashem said to talk to the rock, which is what it says in the psukim. So a few words in the psukim that I want to look at are Edah, Vayikalu, and Mateh. I guess let's start there. So I can read you guys from the psukim for like a second. But it says, Vayavo b'nei Yisrael kol ha'edah midbar sin. It says, Vayikalu al Moshe ve'al Haaron, which is a little of a weird usage there. And I think these words are really interesting because they remind me a lot of what you see in Korach. Because in Korach, we have these words Edah, we have Vayikalu, and we also have later in the story, the word Mateh is used in that big test that Hashem tells Moshe and Aaron to write Aaron's name on a mateh, uses that word, for the Shevet of Levi. And then everybody kind of all the Shvatim put their mateh into the thing together. And the mateh that blossoms is the one that Hashem is choosing. And Hashem is choosing that leader for Bnei Israel. And I think the mateh is like a really interesting symbol if you think about it throughout this whole, all the way from Shemot, right? Because the mateh is what Moshe is turning into a snake and back into a mateh as a sign to show Bnei Israel from the very beginning that he's the rightful leader for Bnei Israel, and he's showing it to the Mitzrayim, and he's saying, "I'm the one who's going to take Bnei Israel out of Mitzrayim." So we haven't seen the mateh in a very long time. So it's kind of surprising for us now that we have the mateh here back in this story. And I think that kind of what the mateh is doing also in this story with hitting the rock, and also in the story of Korach, is in both places it's Hashem's way of saying Moshe is the rightful leader, or Aaron is the rightful leader, and showing all of the people that they are the rightful leader. So then maybe if we want to think about how we're going to answer our question, right, our question of why it was Moshe punished in this way of not being able to go into Eretz Yisrael, maybe the answer is that it's not really a punishment. It just happens to be that the facts on the ground are that Moshe was supposed to use this mateh to show the people that he was their rightful leader, and use the mateh in order like it was supposed to be this symbol of I am the rightful leader, but instead Moshe is kind of out of tune with the leadership and out of tune with the people, and he uses that mateh to hit the rock instead. And it's less of a prescriptive God saying, because you did this, therefore you can't go into the land, and more of this is just kind of showing the present situation that Moshe is not in tune enough with the people to lead them into the land. And I think I just want to end off. There's a Rashi that says on the first pasuk in this story about Moshe hitting the rock, and it says, Kol ha'edah, edah hashlema shekvar metu matei midbar ve'ilu pershu l'chaim. So what does Rashi say? Rashi says these people, this edah that we're talking about, are not the original people that came out of Mitzrayim. All of those people died already. They're all dead. And who are these people now? These are the people, these are the next generation. And Moshe, it just happens to be, is that he belongs more to that previous generation. He brought them out of Mitzrayim. They trust him. He carried them this whole way. But this generation, this new one, he's too out of touch with them to lead them into Eretz Yisrael. So in conclusion, maybe it wasn't a punishment. Maybe it was more just a depiction of the reality of the time. And 41 seconds left. So there's also a midrash that that Moshe and Hashem are talking to each other, and they say, and Hashem says to Moshe, like how could you go into the land of Israel and leave your people behind? And Moshe and he compares them to a shepherd and a flock of sheep, and he says you can't leave the sheep in the desert and bring them into the thing, and that's the same as with Moshe and his people as the shepherd and the sheep, and he can't leave them. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Noam. Okay. So until we had a very last minute response for the raffle today, we had like a runner-up between someone who was 45 away and someone who was 44 away. But in the end, Tess Piper with 218, 17 away from 201. 201 was the answer right before Tess had that last minute private message to me about 1 minute ago. We had Jake with 246 and Andrew Payton with 157. If you're keeping score at home, folks, that's 44 and 45 away. That was a crazy runner-up. But Tess Piper snuck in at the end there with 118 rather. Thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you so much, Noam, for the wonderful words of Torah about this week's parasha. And hopefully we'll see you all tomorrow for a very, very, very special 301 with our one and only director, Esty Fleischman. See you all there. It's going to be incredible. And have a very good day. And thank you all for coming. Bye, guys.